Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur Maroc 24. En ce 3 novembre 2025, nous revenons sur l'exclusif de Middle East 24. L'ambassadeur Youssef Amrani y qualifie la résolution du 31 octobre de tournant historique et stratégique, confirmant une victoire diplomatique majeure et l'ouverture d'un nouveau chapitre pour le Maghreb. Je vous laisse à présent découvrir la vidéo de Middle East 24 avec les déclarations complètes de Youssef Amrani.
On October 31st, the UN Security Council adopted the resolution that fundamentally changes the trajectory of the Sahara issue. For the first time, the Council has defined a clear path forward, Morocco's autonomy plan. This is not just another vote. It is a strategic turning point, and it's worth understanding why. For the first time, the UN Security Council has endorsed a clear and realistic path to resolving the issue. This resolution marks a significant shift. It is a game changer in the diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict. His Majesty King Mohammed VI reflected on this major development, saying that there is a before and an after October 31st. But what does the resolution actually say? Let me read you key line. The Security Council calls on the parties to engage, taking as basis Morocco's autonomy proposals, and recognizes autonomy under Moroccan sovereignty as a most feasible outcome. That language is new, and it is significant. The UN is now saying, here's the framework, let's implement it. There is no management, that is a resolution. I want to speak directly about the US role, because it has been absolutely central and fundamental. In December 2020, President Trump recognized Moroccan sovereignty over the Sahara. That was a historical decision. His Majesty King Mohammed VI acknowledged this explicitly in his speech Friday, and I quote, "I express my gratitude to the United States of America under the leadership of our friend President Donald Trump, whose efforts have paved the way for a final settlement of this conflict." End of the quote. The American leadership catalyzed international consensus. Since 2020, momentum has been building. More countries have opened consulates in the Sahara. Economic investment have been encouraged, and now the UN Security Council has aligned its framework with that reality. That's American diplomacy producing results. And now, the resolution explicitly welcomes the United States' readiness to host the next round of negotiations. And Morocco welcomes that. We see it as a continuation of American leadership in favor of peace, stability, and realistic solutions. There is another dimension to this resolution that I want to highlight today. For nearly 50 years, tens of thousands of people have been living in the Tindouf camps in Algeria. Families have been separated for decades. An entire generation has grown up in those camps. And the UN resolution reiterates its request for refugee registration. This is something Morocco has been calling for years and consistently, because transparency is not optional, it is a moral imperative, because without registration, there is no accountability, And without accountability, human rights cannot be protected. And His Majesty spoke directly to this in his address. And he said, I make a sincere appeal to our brothers in the Tindouf camps to seize this historic opportunity to reunite with their families and take advantage of the autonomy initiative. End of the quote. His Majesty also emphasized, and I quote, as the king of the country and guarantor of the rights and freedoms of citizens, I affirm that all Moroccans are equal and that there is no difference between those returning from the Tindouf camps and their brothers and sisters within the homeland. That is an outstretched hand. That is leadership. So the question now, where do you go from here? His Majesty was clear about this in his speech. Morocco will update and detail its autonomy initiative and submit it to the United Nations to serve as the sole basis for negotiations. Talks will be held in the United States under UN auspices with the personal envoy of the Secretary General. This is diplomacy with direction, with benchmarks, with purpose. This is not a zero-sum game. This is a model of win-win diplomacy. I know this is a complex issue, and I know it doesn't always make headlines in the United States. But I want to leave you with this thought. What happened this week at the UN is a model for how diplomacy should work in the 21st century. Leadership, partner responsibility, multilateral consensus and compromise, realistic compromises. Morocco is proud to be part of that model. And we are grateful to the US for making this possible. Let me close by the bigger picture. The time has come to move beyond sterile postures and to engage in good faith and with a sense of responsibility within the framework defined by the Security Council. Only through such constructive alignment can we advance toward the just, lasting, and mutually acceptable solution envisioned by the United Nations, what that ensures stability, unity, and prosperity for the entire region.
Pour rester informé, je vous invite à regarder les vidéos Maroc 24 qui s'affichent sur votre écran.